This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Monday, November 27th, 2023. I'm Kate Sharon. A former law enforcement officer in Pulaski County has invented a device that automates the field sobriety test and provides more reliable results. Peter Zart says he's hopeful the fundraising will soon be in place to manufacture the device for the 10 police departments, some of which are in Indiana, already in line to purchase it.
Hey, we want to be on the leading edge of technology. We want to invest in a tool that is unbiased, and we want to get drunk drivers off our roads.
The Night Rider device includes a video camera that sits on top of a T-shaped pole. With the push of a button, LED lights create a sliding light along with the horizontal portion of the T for the suspect to track with his eyes, and the camera records the suspect's eyes throughout the test. Zart says the device is entirely grant fundable, making it affordable even for budget-strapped small police departments. Electric utility AES Indiana has reached a settlement agreement that would raise monthly rates next year by approximately 7.3% for the average residential customer, but would clamp down on the utility's disconnection practice and offer other consumer protections. The deal, if approved by the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission, would raise monthly rates by $9.52, or approximately 7.3% for the average residential customer using 1,000 kilowatt hours a month, the utility said. That's less than its initial proposal submitted in June that would have raised rates by about $17 a month or 13%. AES Indiana, formerly known as Indianapolis Power and Light Company, announced the agreement Wednesday evening before the Thanksgiving holiday. The agreement, signed by consumer groups and a wide assortment of large customers, still needs approval from state regulators. The utility said it plans to use the money for what it called rising operational costs, tree trimming, and other needs. Business education website Poets and Quants ranks the online MBA program from the Indiana University Kelley School of Business as the #1 online MBA program in the country. It is the second consecutive year for the Kelley program to top the list. The Kelley Direct Online MBA program is the only Indiana representative on this year's list. The ranking was determined based on the quality of incoming students as well as surveys of about 1,500 recent graduates who evaluated their MBA experiences and career outcomes. In addition to the overall ranking, Kelley Direct ranked #1 in the admissions category, #2 in academic experience, and #10 in career outcomes. From the #1 source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to Engage Central Indiana, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. You won't want to miss our fireside chat with Governor Holcomb and the Michael A. Carroll Award presentation to Mitch Daniels. Plus, we'll dive into the important issues shaping the region's economy. It's December 6th at the JW Marriott in downtown Indy. RSVP at ibj.com/engage.
Staffing levels for family case managers meet 99% of the need statewide, according to the annual Staffing and Caseload Report from the Department of Child Services. But some areas of the state face a greater need than others. IIB's Alex Brown has more.
DCS Director Eric Miller said in a report recently submitted to the Indiana State Budget Committee that family case managers are integral to lowering child abuse and neglect, and, quote, maintaining management caseloads for staff members is critical to ensuring the agency provides the best service possible to those in need, end quote. The agency compiles an annual report documenting its staffing needs following a series of scandals triggered by the resignation of Miller's predecessor, Mary Bonaventura. In a scathing letter, Bonaventura claimed children would die following state funding cuts, and subsequent independent reviews found that DCS had a staffing crisis. Legislative reform dictated that the agency shall meet certain goals when it came to FCMs, requiring more manageable caseloads and reducing the number of children overseen by individual staff. DCS has 4,100 staff members, and a little more than half of those are FCMs. But of those 2,100 FCMs, just 1,637 employees have an active caseload, with another 158 in training. The remaining FCM staff oversees hotlines and licensing services within the agency. Of the agency's 19 regions, 10 meet staffing standards, and an additional 4 have at least 90% of the staff they need. The statewide staffing level is 99%. High FCM turnover, according to the report, can result in longer foster care stays for children, delays in timely assessments of allegations of abuse and neglect, disruptions in child placements, and increased rates of repeat maltreatment. Alex Brown, Inside Indiana Business Radio.
The Indiana Hospital Association has elected Steve Holman as the not-for-profit trade organization's 2024 board chair. Holman is currently the president and CEO of Terre Haute-based Union Health. In his additional role, he will lead board meetings and assist with establishing priorities and goals. Officials in Wells and Posey counties have launched crowdfunding campaigns to support 2 community-based projects. If their respective goals are reached, the projects will receive matching funds from the Indiana Housing and Community Development Authority. The first campaign, launched by Wells County Trails, will support the development of a new paddle sports launch site on the Wabash River near the town of Veracruz. The second campaign was launched by the New Life Rescue and Adoption Center to fund a new community animal adoption center in Posey County. The CEO of Indianapolis-based Eli Lilly and Company says, quote, "It's a historic time at the old pill company on the south side of the city after receiving regulatory approval for the company's highly anticipated injectable weight loss drug, Zepbound. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration earlier this month approved Zepbound for chronic weight management after studies found that the drug helped people lose about 60 pounds on average. It is expected to be a multi-million-dollar blockbuster for Lilly, which based on market capitalization is now the most valuable pharma company in the world." Soon-to-be-retired news anchor Debbie Knox is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.